Today's guest on episode 12 of the Tone Countrycast with Tim Holland is one of Australia's most celebrated artists. He has sold in excess of 5 million albums and also very popular on streaming services. His music has been listened to over 60 million times, including 26 million times in the last 12 months. He is a 27-time Golden Guitar winner, a 3-time ARIA winner, and an ARIA Hall of Fame inductee. He is an Australian Roll of Renown inductee. He's also a member of the Order of Australia with the for services to Australian country and stimulating awareness of conservation issues. He is just about to celebrate 50 years in the music business with the release of his 25 mini disc collection called JW50, winding back 1970 to 2020. He is raising the bat for 50 years in the music business. Welcome to the Tone Countrycast, John Williamson.
Oh, wow, Tim, that was very nice. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You are a Mallee boy, as you've sung about, and you were raised in the Mallee. The eldest of 5 brothers. Did you have a musical upbringing? Where did the talent you have come from?
Yeah. Well, my family were wheat farmers, but we actually lived in Quambatook, a little town, which has almost died away now. But since the bitumen roads came in, we're a musical family. Dad played banjo in the local band. They were all made up of farmers. No one got paid. It was just for fun, for any dance, for any excuse for a dance, whether it was a 21st or a kitchen tea or anything at all. And Mum and Dad both had their voices trained properly so they could sing duets and stuff like that. And they used to put on musicals and all sorts of things in our little town. And so, when the little towns before while all the rough roads were around them, everyone used to stay at home, And but anyway, that's what kicked me off, and I think I got my rhythm from my dad, and I started playing ukulele at about the age of 7. He taught me with his banjo, and then I went on to guitar when I was 12. And but it wasn't until I went away to Melbourne for school for 4 years that I got into folk music, but it wasn't really till I left school that I decided I could write a song, and I wrote Old Man Emu, which weirdly enough is still my biggest single hit.
So how does that come about? Because that's quite a unique song, a big song, and you famously sung that on New Faces, and I guess that's kind of what kicked things off for you. Do you remember that time well?
Oh, of course. Well, I first sang it in the hotel in Moree, after a rugby game or something, because we'd moved up to northwest New South Wales in 65. So 1970, it was actually 69, I actually wrote Old Man Emu, and I sang it in a pub, and I had to sing it twice more. That's when I realised I got something here, and I went back down to Melbourne and got on New Faces, they just suggested, and won New Faces in Victoria. Then I won the national one as well, and I got what I thought I'd won a recording contract, but I gave half my royalties away with Old Man Emu. So that it really. Then I decided eventually I left the farm and took it on against a lot of people's advice. Thought I should have been better off staying on the land, but 16 years later. I became quite established with the Mallee Boy album.
The voice guitar that you do, I guess, so to speak, on Old Man Emu, was that just something you just came up with by mistake, or?
Yeah. I was just, because I was a solo artist, I guess I was doing what maybe a guitar would play, But I was also influenced by Roger Miller, who had Dang Me when I was, back in, it must have been 64. He had the song Dang Me, Dang Me. ought to get a rope and hang me high from the highest tree. Woman, won't you weep for me? Beep, 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 down, down, down. He did this, what he called voice guitar, and I actually met Roger, and that's where I got the saying. He called it voice guitar, and he sort of sang it in harmony with his guitar when he played that, and I guess that was partly the influence.
Now, if you go on to YouTube, you can see, in conjunction with this new release, a fantastic lyric video for Old Man Emu. Now, you did the drawing in this, I believe.
Yeah.
Where did that skill come about?
Well, the thing is, I've been drawing before I was, as a kid, I was always into drawing. I used to draw birds, actually. And I used to enter competitions with the Guild League of Bird Lovers, and you get a little certificate sent back to me. That was all quite thrilling for a young kid. And so I always liked drawing, and so this box set has got 25 drawings on the covers of all the little mini discs and on the box itself. So, but I've done landscapes, but I've also been quite into doing cartoons. I've always had this, for a long time now, I've had this kangaroo I call Fearless. So I decided to draw Fearless with his pants down around his ankles. He was the kangaroo who got the emu ran the pants off. And I decided to do a story in drawing, and then I filmed it, and it could be sped up a little bit to fit the timing of Old Man Emu and the lyrics. So that's a lot of fun. It's actually, I found it interesting to watch myself draw.
Yeah, how long did it actually take to draw?
About 5 minutes.
Right, wow. Well, it would take me about 5 days.
We had to reduce it to 3:11 or something, yeah. So that sped it up. Have you seen it?
I have, yes. I was very impressed when I found. I assumed got someone to, pay someone to do it, but no, that's you. And then of course looking at a lot of the other stuff you've done, that makes complete sense.
Yeah, well, I signed it. I signed it saying you knew it was me, and also if you look hard, you'll notice my wife went crook at me because all my fingernails were still dirty. I didn't wash my hands before I did it. I'd been out chopping wood or something. So
I'll be honest,
so it's real.
I didn't notice that myself.
Oh, good. Too busy watching the drawing.
Yes. I'm fascinated by it. Let's talk about a bunch of these songs on this 50 song collection. Rip Rip Woodchip. Let's start with that one. One of your biggest songs. How did that song come about?
Well, I already mentioned I used to draw birds, and we used to collect birds' eggs when I was a kid. But I followed the rules that you only take one egg out of a nest, unless it's a sparrow. You'd smash the lot. But and I sort of became a conservationist as a kid, really. And I know damn well, being a bird lover, that if you start demolishing old growth forests, you're going to demolish a whole lot of life, apart from the beautiful old trees, etc. But the habitat is what's important, the old forests, and turning that into wood chip to be sent to Japan, that didn't suit my way of thinking. So I supported the protests against the wood chipping. And I don't mind selective logging, which has been going on for a long time, because a lot of trees die and fall down anyway. And but to wipe it out, like as I say in the song, like a shearer's blow, just mow the lot down. And then what they do after that is just leave the odd seed tree that's useful for timber. So the variety of the bush is forever gone once it's been wood chipped.
Cootamundra Wattle, I think, is my favourite song of yours, and there's a beautiful video of you performing this song on your property to what appears to be a chorus of lorikeets. Would that be correct, or have I a bit off the mark?
Yes, I trained in the fly past you while I was singing the song. Yeah, there's birds everywhere up at Springbrook, up around my shed, and that's one of the reasons I love that area up there. It's unique for bush and unique for bird life and animal life. And I just decided, well, when Cootamundra Wattle seemed to me to be the right kind of song to sing when everyone was a bit sad about what was going on. and it seemed to work.
Yes, so
Just done on my iPhone.
To those listening, get on YouTube and have a look at that. It's absolutely fantastic. Raining on the Rock. Now, I think I heard you say that you're inspired to write this on a trip to Uluru.
Yeah, so I was on the way there, and I was that excited about getting to it. I actually wrote it before I saw the rock, I've got to admit. But I'd seen, the beautiful outback red country and the spinifex and the sand dunes, and it wasn't actually raining. I knew it was spectacular, so I made that bit up, and I've seen it rain on the rock since.
That was going to be my next question. Was it actually raining at the time?
No, it wasn't. But I think there'd been a bit of a scud through the area where I was, and that's where I got the line that it's gone from pale red to burgundy with the dampness, like just a bit of sprinkle of rain and all the red sand goes a darker colour. No, I actually when we got there, we actually climbed the rock, and when it was okay to do it, and I'm glad I did it, even though I respect the idea now. But getting up the top of the rock, you can see the Cootamundra, or that's called the alders, which I hate these old English names for our wonderful things. But so Cootamundra, you can see from the top of the rock. It's an amazing view from there. It's like being in an aeroplane,
And you recorded that song with Warren H. Williams, a great artist himself. How did you get to know Warren?
Well, his manager rang me with the idea that we'd do a duet, and he was putting together a duet album, and that's what really put him on the road. We recorded the recording of "Raining on the Rock" was mainly. Well, it was all done in a big tent in Tamworth. That was when I introduced Warren to Tamworth. Really, he came on stage and they just went berserk, and it was a good version. So he actually used that. We doctored it up a bit, from the live version, and that turned out to be the hit version of the song. I'd already recorded it on Mallee Boy as solo, but the Warren version got airplay. I changed the words a little bit too to suit Warren. Not much, but I think I said Uluru. I can't remember what the original was, but he said Uluru's power, and I forget what I said originally. But the dreaming and all that sort of stuff. I think I put that in there when Warren was there, and it got the most airplay for a country song that year. It got an ARIA award.
Now let's talk about True Blue. Originally released in 1981 on your album The Breaker, and originally you released this song as a single, and it didn't chart or do anything out of the ordinary.
I think I did. I can't remember if it was a single, but it became a hit when in '86.
Well, yes.
I was actually I was putting the tracks down from the Mallee Boy album, which is really the peak of my recording career. And I'd already written True Blue for John Singleton's TV show. And he rang up and said, he wanted to use True Blue for the Buy Australian campaign. So I re-recorded it, and that's the version everyone knows now. I re-recorded it before it was just a solo performance. I think I did it on a little tape recorder. But the main one we did in '86, then it's become my calling card, as you know. It's
absolutely
it's done things that who could possibly imagine.
It's amazing
the timing.
And it is amazing that it wasn't a big hit straight away. It did take that campaign to get it in front of people.
Yeah, it was the True Buy Australian campaign that exposed it amazingly, because it wasn't just a song. They had some amazing, wonderful pictures of people that they regarded as being True Blue, and it was all about buying Australian products, and like it was the perfect $1 million film clip for me.
I mean, how does it
went on every channel?
Yeah, how does it feel when you play that song at a festival or a rugby test or anywhere really, and everyone sings it back to you with so much passion?
Yeah.
Do you ever get tired of that?
Nah, how could I possibly get tired of it? I mean, I still sing Old Man Emu because they go crazy, so why would I? And I like the fact that people actually call me True Blue, because that's kind of a pat on the back, or that's a nice compliment, isn't it, to call someone True Blue?
Absolutely.
And people often say, "Oh, how you going, True Blue?" So I don't mind that at all. And I try to remain True Blue, if you know what I mean. But the song is not only used for celebration; it's also used more, I would say, for funerals.
Really? There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, first line of "Hey True Blue," they'd say you've gone, so you can imagine, or someone that's lost a dad or mum that they think are really good true Aussies and great people. It says, "Hey True Blue, don't say you've gone." I mean, it worked for Steve Irwin's memorial service exactly the same way.
It is very very uplifting. There's a live version on YouTube, I think, from the CMC Festival. I think 500,000 views or something. And it's just magnificent. I mean,
it's a live version of the from the Sydney Symphony, I suppose. Yeah.
Actually, I remember my friend Stormy Warren, who is an American radio guy and comes out every year and hosts that festival. He was blown away when he saw you perform that song. He said, of all the things I've seen in Australia, that really, really captured him, because he'd obviously never seen anything like that before. So it's amazing that song was...
Which festival was that?
CMC, I think it was in the Hunter, and he saw your show, and he'd never heard of you before, and he's American, and was just gobsmacked. It was the highlight of anything he's ever seen in Australia. He's told me, watching you perform and do that song.
It's funny. I went on a boat cruise around the harbour with Tom T. Hall years ago, and I sang "All Australian Boys Need a Shed" to him, and he was gobsmacked. You know why? Because he'd never heard a country song before that didn't have an American accent. And he didn't actually know until I sang to him that there was such a thing as an Australian country song.
Well,
it just occurred. The Americans are so insular that they think the country music's all about them and the way they do it.
Yes.
So,
but it's great. It's always great to see the reaction from people like that when they hear artists like yourself. Now, tell us, you do this show every year at the Willow Shed at home. And obviously you're not doing that this year because of COVID.
No, we had to postpone.
What was?
Because this is the month I normally do it. It's Old Man Emu's 50th birthday.
This is interesting because artists usually don't like fans coming anywhere near their house. What was the thinking
well,
behind
they're nowhere
that?
near the house. My house is a long way from the shed.
Oh, right, okay.
It's on a cliff looking over the shed. The shed's like probably a kilometre the way the crow flies,
Right. Is that quite a big logistical exercise? Are you quite hands-on with all that?
Yeah, it's a big... We need about 25 people to put it on, and that's not including the band. And it's a big exercise, but the friends and staff and crew that afterwards we all get together and have a big power and a drink and a big dinner, and that's as much fun as the rest. Of just because all my good mates turn up to help me out. They might either be parking the cars or stoking up the campfire that they sit around or cooking a sausage, and it's all daytime because the view is spectacular from there, and everybody, they come at 1 o'clock and they're gone by 5 o'clock. And most of them walk down to the shed, and we make them park up the top, and we do drive people down in the back of my troop carrier if they need a lift.
As you release this 50-song box set collection to celebrate your 50 years in the business, what are you most proud of as an artist? Is it the awards? Is it the songs? The impact you've had on people in this country, on the Australian culture? What is it that you look back and go, that you're most proud of?
Well, I think that makes me feel what makes me feel the best. The happy about my career is when I get a letter or a bloke comes up to me and says, "You helped me through my down times." I think a lot of Aussies that get depressed, sometimes they don't realise how lucky they are, and sometimes you bring them back in contact with what a beautiful place this is and how amazing it is, how diverse the nature of it is, and all those sort of things that I put in the songs. It's that kind of thing. Or if someone comes up and says, "Thanks for reminding me of how lucky we are to be an Aussie," that kind of thing. Yeah. Because that's been my crusade. When I started, the only Aussie songs that were played on air were silly songs like Old Man Emu, and not silly songs, but novels. Like Pub with No Beer and Emu's Kicking Your Dunny Down, all that sort of stuff. There wasn't really too much serious stuff that was done in an Aussie way that a lot more of us do it these days. You have Paul Kelly and Missy Higgins and a lot of the young country artists are now waking up to that. We're writing for us, not for the world. My music doesn't necessarily work around the world, but I don't care. I never cared about that. I've got a damn good career and a good life living where I want to live. I don't want to go overseas anyway.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the career so far. I mean, it's 50 years, but certainly I'm sure 50 not out, so to speak. There's a...
No, I'm just going to slow down a bit. This year's taught me what slowing down's like, and I've quite enjoyed it.
Good.
The virus has done me a bit of a favour, but I've got to be flip back. All the shows have been postponed to next year, so I'm going to be working harder next year than I imagined. But after that, I think I'll cut it back to about 10 shows a year, and until I'm not doing the job I want to do.
Terrific. Well, good luck with the release and congratulations on the career so far. And thanks for talking to us on the Tone Countrycast.
It's been a pleasure, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Tone Countrycast. Remember to click subscribe so you get all the new episodes as soon as they go live. I'm Tim Holland, and I look forward to your company next time on the next episode of the Tone Countrycast.